Alexis, it's Maxie.
Good. Come on in, and thank you for coming so quickly. Why don't you
Okay, I can't stay too long, though. Kate's not a pretty sight when I'm late.
All right, well, I'll try to be brief. How quickly I go will depend on just how forthcoming you are.
About?
John and Lulu, Maxie, you know that there's an ongoing search for them, and since you spend so much time working with Lulu, I thought maybe you knew something that might help this case.
I already gave my dad a statement about what happened the night Logan died.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes it helps if you go over the events again a few weeks later. Maybe we'll stumble over something that you missed when you talked to your dad. Maybe you'll think of something that you didn't think of before.
I doubt it.
Humor me, Maxie. Tell me what you remember that day.
Well, for the millionth time, I ran into Logan on the Elm Street pier. He was with Matt, Dr. Matt Hunter. I barely knew him at the time. Unfortunately, now he's camped out in my house acting like he lives there. Talk about arrogant jerk.
Why don't you just tell me what happened with Logan?
Right. I told Matt to be careful who he was dealing with, that Logan was a loser. And in true form, Logan started calling me a slut and whatever else he could think of until he finally left.
When was the next time you saw Logan?
At the Crimson offices with Lulu and Kate. Logan barged in, pleading with Lulu to give him another chance, blaming his whole miserable life on me. Typical Logan, he can't even take a bit of responsibility for his stupid actions. And then Lulu said that she was with Johnny and Logan was starting to make her really uncomfortable. So Logan left. Seriously pissed. Looking for trouble. I guess he found it. End of story.
Not quite. Because if the story ended there, you wouldn't have visited Johnny in lockup after his arrest. So what exactly do you know, Maxie, that you aren't telling us? You know something, Maxie? Parents want to believe that when it counts, their children are going to tell them the truth. And as a parent, my instincts tell me that you counted on that to avoid telling Mac everything that you know.
I told Mac everything that was pertinent to Logan's death.
Why don't you let me be the judge of that? Why did you visit Johnny in lockup?
Fine, if you must know. I came on to him.
In the interrogation room with all of the police enforcement watching you?
Hey, I don't get to pick and choose my moments alone with Johnny, okay? Lulu's attached to his hip, and with Johnny in lockup, he was a captive audience. Look, Johnny is hot and insanely rich, and he has this edgy mob thing going on, which, sue me, turns me on, okay? I don't care about Logan or whether or not Johnny really killed him. Personally, I think whoever took Logan out was doing a public service. And I wasn't going to let the perfectly good opportunity of showing Johnny some sympathy go away. Not that it did any good. Lulu has his head spun backwards.
Did Johnny say anything about Logan?
No, I did most of the talking.
Imagine that.
About how hot he is and how good we would be in bed together. But I feel like this conversation might make Mac uncomfortable, so if you think you could, just kind of keep that between us.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but this is an emergency about Lulu.
Obviously, Nikolas needs your undivided attention, so if you're done with me, I'll leave you two to discuss Lulu till your heart's content.
All right, and if you can think of anything that might shed some light on Johnny and Lulu's disappearance, I trust that I will hear from you, Maxie.
On one condition. Do you think you could not tell Mac about this uncomfortable conversation we had about Johnny?
See, here's the thing. I'm the DA. Can't do conditions. Just tell me if you hear anything.
Bye.
Bye.
What's happening?
Well,
Hold on. That's Viola. I gotta take this. Did everything go all right?
Rick picked Molly up for their trip right on time.
Separation anxiety?
No, just smile.
How's Kristina?
Looking forward to having
Lunch with you? We'll be waiting by the swings.
Okay. All right, I'm all yours.
okay. Listen, I want to confide in you, but not as the DA, as my aunt. Is that possible?
Okay, tell me what it is first, and then I'll tell you if it's
No, it
possible.
doesn't work that way, Alexis.
It's worth a try. I take it that you've heard from Lulu?
Do I have your word first?
This puts me in an untenable situation.
I know it does.
I have a murder on my hands here. It's not just an anonymous murder. It's the son of a really pissed off special prosecutor, and I haven't escaped.
I understand. Sorry to bother you.
Wait. Come back in. I won't say anything.
All right, I haven't heard from Lulu directly, but I am in contact with someone who's spoken to John. Apparently Lulu's in bad shape right now. She's on the verge of some sort of a breakdown. I need you to use all the resources that you have at your disposal to get my sister home before she loses her mind.
I can only think of two people who would contact Lulu and John, and that's Spinelli or Claudia Zacchara.
Don't ask me to name names. It doesn't matter. The most important thing right now is my sister's condition, which is shaky at best. She may be hallucinating. I don't know. What my fear is that I think history may be repeating itself. She may be having the same breakdown that Laura did.
I want to help. I really do. I want to help you. I just don't know how I can.
Well, is there a way for her to turn herself in safely?
Yes, that's what everybody wants.
What kind of charges would she be facing if she did?
Accomplice after the fact, obstruction of justice. I can plead for leniency, but I can't stop the charges from being filed because you have Scott Baldwin who wants a trial and a conviction.
There's no other alternative.
I didn't say that. No judge is going to want to throw Lulu in prison if she's mentally unfit.
Well, then how do we prove it?
Have her committed for a psychiatric evaluation. I was just on my way out.
Alexis, I promise not to waste your time. My employer understands that his son can't run forever. Eventually, he'll be found, hopefully by his family. And to that end, we have devoted all of our resources. And when we locate John, we promise he will come back to Port Charles and turn himself in.
Why would you do that?
Because we believe that he's going to be exonerated. He'll walk free and clear his name.
I was very optimistic. But in this particular case, the suspect fled, so it's going to make a self-defense plea less and less likely.
Alexis, unfortunately, you and I both know what Anthony's capable of. Remember back to your nephew's Windermere Ball when Anthony didn't think he's going to see his son forever? He wreaked havoc. So now, if Johnny is hurt in any way or he pulls a prison sentence, Anthony in all his madness is going to wreak hell down on anyone concerned. You're a smart, capable attorney. Find a loophole, a way to reduce the charges or dismiss them. Get John out of this. Help him. I really fear there's going to be a terrible price to pay.
This is such a pretty dolly. Where did you get this?
My mommy gave it to me.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm having a chat with your charming daughter. I think little Kristina likes me.